This tutorial is for Netop School. It is good for teachers. It is a program used to see what other students or other computers are doing. I'll show you when I finish the setup. If you want to download Netop School, go to www.netop.com. You could have a free trial, and if you like it, you could buy it online. It is best to save your download it onto your desktop. It is easier to access. Go to setup, double click, next. I'll guide you through the whole setup and how to have the other computers also attached, also configured, so everything will show. Now it is installing Netop. Log on the installation. Next, I accept the agreement. User name, it could be by your name and your organization. I'm at home right now, so I don't have to put anything. Next, custom setup. You should set up the teacher's edition and not the student. If you're only if you're on the computer for the teacher, only the teacher edition, because if you install both of them will have the same IP address, and that will create a big conflict. Next, you put the teacher's serial number, and after putting the teacher's serial number, click next. Allow Netop, yes, next, install. Okay, now we click finish. Okay, now it won't show onto your desktop. You have to go to start, all programs, Netop, teacher. Okay. Okay, forget I have over here a computer because I did this from before. Okay, you go to tools, run student deployment, browse. It always tells you that it cannot find the CD or where the setup file is. You go to desktop. That's why I told you to save it at desktop. It's always easier. Open. Okay. If in the school you have a domain, everything will run nice and smoothly. But right now I'm at home, so I'm with the work group, so I want to be able to finish the setup. But you'll be able to go. Okay, over here you join at startup. When the student turns on their computer, join classroom, load student at Windows startup, minimize student at at program startup. You don't want the Netop to appear and then to yeah, then you have to minimize it. This will do it all. Okay, next, connect to class. You could say like whatever class you're in, computer class. Okay, next, identify student by Windows login name or whatever you want. I usually use computer name. It's usually easier, especially for teachers, because but just by looking at the computer you could tell sometimes which number it is. Next, TCP/IP is the best. Apply password. Now, applying the password does not allow the student to leave the class. That means if they want to play with the Netop student part, they have to have the password. Right now, when you apply the password, they can't do anything. So next, allow, yes, next. Okay, as I told you, I'm at home, so only have one other computer. Yes. Okay, you click on it and you put next. Start deployment now. While running, you can use cancel to pause and next to resume. Yes. See, right now I can't enter my other computer because I'm in a work group. Because if I try to put my account, it won't work. See, access denied. But when you're done, a smiley face will appear on the computers which it is fine and installed, and the ones that are not, they'll come as as this sign over here, red. Then you press quit. Yes. Okay. Details, you could see that there's one computer, that's the other computer in my house. You could go to classroom Yaghi, thumbnails, and you get to see how it is instead of opening it. See, like, I just started that computer up, so it has MSN and Google Talk. If you double click, you're into the computer right now. I could exit. I could do everything I want. I could change the backgrounds. I could surf the net. As you can see over here, controlled my class. That means that computer is controlled by your main computer, my computer. You could have several different stuff you could do. You could record what they're doing. You could block their keyboard and mouse. If you go to the other computer and try to play with the mouse or keyboard, it is locked. You could print screen to teacher, clipboard to student, clipboard from student, Netop maker, utility, restart student PC. That's pretty neat, especially if you can't block the student. Send Control Alt Delete, Control Escape, full screen, and session properties. And if you want to end the session, go back to your computer, press end session. You could demonstrate to them what you're doing by pressing demonstrate, and let's say it was Firefox, my browser. Double click on it. Whatever you do on your computer, it goes to all the other computers and it demonstrates it to them. You could start and stop an audio. You could have a audio chat if they're not in the same classroom, or let's say you're in a meeting or in a different classroom. You could talk to them. Maker utility, pass the chalk to student full screen window. Okay, here let's like class go to www.google.com and so on. This is how you demonstrate. And end session. Attention is to lock their screen, all the students' screens. It becomes white with a lock on it with the Netop sign on it. As you can see on the thumbnail view, it's locked. You could control their computer, communicate, and so on. And it's best not to exit when you have a class, because it will shut your server down. Happy computing, and thank you for your time.